All right, so we're going to be starting our Google Docs lesson. This follows the same format as the Word Essentials lesson, but using the Google Docs tools. So first, we want to change our document orientation and margins, which are both in the Page Setup menu. So to get to that, we're going to File, Page Setup. Under Orientation, we want to click the button for Portrait. And then the margins, we want to change to 1 on all sides, which is considered normal margins. So I just want to type over all of these 0.5s and type a 1, and then press OK. And next, I want to decrease the line spacing between my body paragraph text. I can see there's a lot of space between each individual line. We can make that tighter. Just want to start with my cursor in front of the first sentence of the body text, highlight down. Then in line and paragraph spacing, I want to change it to single spaced. So that automatically puts our document down to 1 page. It's the same amount of text as before, but all the spacing in between is now reduced. The next thing I want to do is clear my highlight by clicking in the blank space off the side of the document. And then I want to move one of my paragraphs around. I want to move this paragraph right here, so it is before my current third paragraph. So paragraphs 3 and 5 about John Doe will be one after the other, and this one will be before them. So I want to highlight just this paragraph. I can start with my cursor either at the beginning or at the end. And I want to cut this paragraph. I can do that a few ways. I can right click and press cut. I can use the keyboard shortcut Control plus X, or in the edit menu, I can press cut. So that left a space there. If that happens, you can just press the backspace key on the keyboard to fill that space in. And then I want to paste my text before this paragraph. So I want to put my cursor where I want the action to happen, and then paste either by right clicking and pressing paste using the keyboard shortcut Control V, or in my edit menu pressing paste. So now we can see that pasted in the right place, but our paragraph here is combined with this one. Our cursor is in the right spot. Just press the Enter key to move that paragraph down to where it should be. Now I want to select all the text at once, which I can do by dragging all the way down with my mouse using the keyboard shortcut Control A, or in the edit menu, pressing Select All. So I want to change my font to Times New Roman. So I click on this box that says Comic. It's saying it's called Comic Sans. If you don't have Times New Roman in your recent, just scroll down. The font list is not as extensive as in Word, so you can quickly scroll down to the bottom and click Times New Roman. Then I want to change my text color to black. Right now I can see with this blue underline, the color is blue, and we can see it from here, but it's also indicating under this menu that it's blue. Just want to click on that A and then click on the black circle in the top left to change the color to black. Now I want to work with just my title text, so I'm going to highlight just my title. I can start from either the beginning or the end. When I highlight, then I want to change this to size 16. So up here, I can tell right now it's size 12. If I click on the number 12, I can see the drop down, but 16 is not one of the options they give me. So I can either type that in the box here and press the Enter key, or I can use the plus and minus buttons to change my text size. Now I want to work with just my body paragraphs again. I'm going to just highlight down to the bottom of my text, and then with all of this highlighted, I want to click on bulleted list, and that puts a bullet point in front of each of my paragraphs. If I press the drop down, it gives me a few different options for what I can make my bullet points. I'll just turn them into stars. Then we want to keep this text here highlighted. Then go to line and paragraph spacing. Then click add space after list item. So because all of our text is highlighted, every single list item has a space inserted in between it. And now we want to clear the highlight and put our cursor at the very beginning of our text. Right now, all of the dates in here say 2023. We want to change it to 2024. So while we could manually type over each of these instances, we can get Docs to change it for us. So we want to go into Edit, Find and Replace. Find gives it the text that it's going to look for. So when I type 2023, I can see in the background the highlight is started for anything that says 2023. It says 1 of 7. That's telling me there are 7 instances of this exact text. I want to replace it with 2024. Then when I press Replace All, now it's going to say there are 0 instances of 2023 because it's changed everything to 2024. And I can just close out of this menu. Okay, next we want to check over the spelling of our words, the ones we see with the red squiggly line, using the spelling and grammar check. So that brings up a menu up here with our spelling suggestions. In this case, we don't need to change what's happening here. We are using bakery in the possessive sense because it's the bakery salespeople. I can just press ignore on this suggestion. This is telling me lights is spelled incorrectly, which is true, so I can accept the change. Same thing with attract, accept the change. And again, same thing with outsourcing, accept the change. And then when you've gone through all the errors, it will tell you no available suggestions to review. The thing we want to do with our document is insert a header and footer. We want to go into the insert menu, headers and footers. First select header. And Google Docs also does not have the option to do the 3-column header as we do in Word Essentials. Basically, all you can do is just change the header margins. So we're just going to type what we can here. If I wanted to, I could press space until I get about to the middle of the page and sort of replicate the look of a 3-column header. So there is a bit of a workaround. And then I want to go back to the insert menu, headers and footers, footer. And in my options, it gives me this option for page numbers. I can select where I want the page number and what number I want it to start at. So say, for example, I was starting my page count on what Docs was considering the 5th page. I could say, well, this is page 1 because everything else is not being included in that. But in this case, we want our first page to be counted as page 1. So we can stay with that, press apply, and then our page number is down here. If we added more pages, it would automatically update. So if you've gotten to this point, you followed all the steps successfully for Google Docs.